you.
Pleasure to see you again.
Wonderful.
How have you been?
I am fine.
Good.
Really good to see you, my friend. How do you do it? You stay so young. What's the secret? Damn it.
Well, I don't know if that, but I always say that having a wonderful husband certainly helps.
22 years.
That's right.
Years. It's been beautiful.
It's incredible.
So people, most people should really try this.
I'm gonna tell the folks the secret. What is this? I mean, you know, it's tough in show business. I mean, a lot of pressures. Have you done it? I mean, really?
Well, I think certainly part of the secret for us is that we were friends before we got married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I really think that makes a big difference because, you know, there were some people that I knew before Billy, and I may have loved them, but I didn't really like them as people. And Billy was the first time that I fell in love with someone who I really liked. He was my friend before he became my husband.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You just kind of did things together and enjoyed each other, and that was before the romance came?
Yes, I mean, we went to a lot of functions together, and we confided in each other as friends.
Yeah.
And we got very close, and then all of a sudden the attraction started. And we really started to really fall for each other, even though we fought it. We fought it. You didn't want to do it. We fought it.
Why didn't you?
Well, because we were singing together. And we thought, well, you know,
it's so close here.
Yeah.
You know, it's say this cannot be happening. And we would go off, and all of a sudden we would find ourselves just kind of.
It was happening.
It was happening.
Gravitating
That's your wife fighting. Well, I'm glad you didn't fight it.
You know, when we started just sharing as friends, and the way he used to express his heart, I thought, oh, this is such a, he's so unusual, because by that time I thought all men were dogs, you know? And,
most women are sure.
Right.
and Billy just expressed himself in such an open and truthful way, and I thought, wow, he's different.
Well, it's obvious. Well, so you really respected each other. I mean, that's an important thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we respected each other's love of music.
I think that most women, what they really want is just the truth out of men. They want them to just tell it like it is. Don't beat around the bush. You know, we try to build it up and make it, take it out of proportion and everything to try to feel our masculinity and all of that. And that's not what they want. They want you to just be you.
They're not looking for some macho
they
hulk.
just want you to be
Schwarzenegger's not there.
Right. They don't need all of that. They got that. You know, they want you.
Well, I
Just
mean,
want you.
well, he's a hunk too.
He's
you
a
know? But
they
a
want you
sensitive
plus
hunk.
being a sensitive hunk. Okay. All right. Good friends and a sensitive hunk. Mark that down. Well, you all had such an incredible career, though, the Fifth Dimension. I mean, the music was just, it was, what do you call it? Champagne soul? Yeah.
Somebody coined that phrase. Well, it was a good time together. I think our music was different, you know. It had a different sound, a different direction, and it was happy music.
It really was. I mean, you hear some of the mess that's on there. You weren't glorifying drugs or sexuality. It was just a nice sound, a happy sound.
And I think at that particular time, people were ready to get away from that other. They had been. It's like you take and just beat something down so far, and you know, they don't see no way out. And then here we come with the sweet, nice, uplifting music, and people said, "Hey, that's the road to get on."
They were playing it and singing it all over the country. It was a welcome, because it was right in the middle of Vietnam too. I mean, it was it was a heavy time for this country.
We were in a low. We were in a low during that time. The country was.
I think people, you know, of course had their political views about Vietnam, but we felt that our purpose out there was to entertain people and to help them forget about their problems. And I think that's how the Fifth Dimension was different.
Well, it sure did work. I tell you, it brings back a lot of memories to many of us. But tell me about you and the Lord. I know we've discussed this, but was that during the singing in the Fifth Dimension, or that you came not only to each other but to the Lord, or was that before that?
Well, the Lord found us. We found the Lord, because the Lord had His hand on us for a long time. But He kind of finally got our attention around 1980. This was after Billy and I had left the group, and we had been singing together as a duet act and had had a lot of success. And this was a period where things were a little quieter, a little calmer, gave us a chance to reflect on our lives and what had been happening in our careers. And you know, you have to be kind of quiet for the Lord to speak to you. And this is when He really started, as far as my experience was concerned, He started giving me a chance to really look at my life and figure out what it was all about, what it had meant, what it did not mean, and where was I headed, and did my life really mean? And that was when I began to realize that in spite of all the wonderful things that I had experienced, there was still a void in my life.
But you know, I grew up in church.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
during the time when Marilyn was going through all of these changes, the Lord had been speaking to me all the time, but I wasn't listening. You know, until once he got to Maryland, it started to start me to paying attention again to what he was wanting me to do in life, you know. And so during that particular time is when once Marilyn had dedicated her life to the Lord, and she told me that, it was like it wasn't but a step away from me to come back around and rededicate my life to the Lord.
To sort of the two of you together then?
Yes,
That's
it was
right.
basically like the two of us
It
together.
happened
right?
within 2 months of each other.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did it do with your marriage? I mean, you know, people, this marriage is so important. I mean, did it bring you even closer together?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely so.
I think that in the past 10 or 11 years, Billy and I have faced a lot of challenges. You know, our lives have gone through a lot of changes. And I think that if not for the Lord in our lives, we might not be together today because, I mean, we've had a lot of challenges.
Well, I'm so glad for you.
Yeah.
This new album, I know it's going to be an inspiration. Tell me about it. How come you did it?
Well, it's called The Me Nobody Knows. And
Yeah.
what was happening is, you know, over the last couple of years, I've been listening to the music that's out there, getting angry about some of the lyrics that I've been hearing and saying, we really don't need this.
Yeah.
You know? And I felt like artists, we who care about the quality of music that our children listen to, number one, and that the people in general listen to, should make more of a definite step, you know, make more of a statement. And Chris Christian, who produced the album, came to me and said, I'd love to do a Christian project with you. And I felt like the Lord is presenting to me the opportunity for me to put my money where my mouth is, to really make that statement. I felt like the time was right, the time was now. People need to be encouraged. They need to feel like there is hope out there, and that's what I tried to do with that.
We want to hear some of folks. The CD or the tape is available at 1-800-288-8087. And Marilyn is going to go over to our music set right now to sing a song from this very important new, I like to call them albums. I'll never get over, you know, I can't get used to CDs. I mean, a CD, an album. Okay, it's called Warrior for the Lord, Marilyn McCoo.